A blood egg ritual. Never break the rules of Easter night. Part 1. The Whispering Woods and Grandma's Warning. I never liked Easter. While other kids counted colorful eggs and gorged on chocolate, I spent every Easter Eve inside my grandmother's creaky old house on the edge of the woods, with curtains drawn tight and candles burning till dawn. Grandma Elsie wasn't like other grandmothers. She never smiled, never baked cookies, and every year on Easter night, she made me recite a strange list of rules before she'd let me sleep. "Repeat them, Ethan," she'd croak, clutching my wrist so tight it left marks. I was 17 now, too old for this nonsense. And yet, as the sky bled purple that evening and the wind howled through the dying trees, something in her watery eyes made my stomach knot. The rules were always the same. 1. Never open an egg you didn't find yourself. 2. Don't leave a window cracked open past midnight. 3. If you hear tapping on the glass, don't answer it. 4. Never look into the woods after 3 a.m. 5. And above all, if you find a crimson egg, bury it immediately. I scoffed. "Grandma, this is ancient crap. What's gonna happen? The Easter Bunny's gonna eat me?" She slapped me. Not hard, but sharp and fast. Her eyes flashed something I'd never seen before. Pure, bone-deep terror. "The hollow hare listens on Easter night," she hissed. "Mock the rules and it'll come for you." I rolled my eyes and stormed up to my room, ignoring the stale scent of wax and the faint metallic tang in the air. That night, I lay in bed, scrolling through my phone while shadows danced along the walls. Around 11:58 p.m., a soft tap came at my window. I froze. The room was dead quiet, aside from the faint tick of the grandfather clock downstairs. I remembered the rule. If you hear tapping on the glass, don't answer it. It was probably a branch, or a moth, or some dumb animal. I crept toward the window, heart pounding, every hair on my arms standing up. Outside, the woods swayed under the moonlight, trees clawing the sky. Another tap, this time harder. 3 sharp knocks. Nope, not a branch, not a moth. I backed away, but curiosity itched under my skin like ants. I had to look. Peeking through the curtain, I saw nothing, just the gnarled tree limbs, and at the base of the oak tree, a small, crimson egg. It sat there, glowing faintly, slick and wet, like fresh blood. I felt the pull, like it was meant for me. A voice in my head whispered, "Break the shell. Claim your fate." My hand moved on its own. I was halfway down the stairs when Grandma appeared from the shadows, candle in one hand, a rusted shovel in the other. "You saw it, didn't you?" she rasped. I nodded. She grabbed my arm and thrust the shovel into my hand. "You have to bury it, now." I swallowed hard. Outside, the air was thick, and the egg seemed even darker against the soil. The second I scooped earth over it, a high-pitched wail echoed through the woods. Not human, not animal. Something in between. Grandma yanked me back into the house, bolting the door. "One rule broken," she muttered, eyes glassy. "Pray it's enough." And then, from deep in the woods, soft, deliberate footsteps. Coming closer. 2. The rules start breaking. The house felt wrong. Every corner seemed darker than it should be, and the candle flames flickered, as though something invisible brushed past them. Grandma Elsie barred every window, muttering prayers under her breath in a language I didn't understand. I clutched the rusted shovel, hands slick with sweat. "You said one rule's broken," I whispered. "I buried the damn egg. That should be it, right?" Grandma didn't answer. She grabbed a bundle of dried herbs from the mantel and tossed them into the fireplace, releasing a thick, choking smoke that that made my eyes water. "It heard you," she finally said. "It marked you." A cold knot twisted in my gut. Outside, the footsteps had stopped, but the air felt heavier, like something massive crouched just beyond the tree line, watching. What happens now? Grandma Elsie didn't meet my gaze. We survive till dawn. She handed me an old yellowed page, the same list of rules, written in shaky ink. But now, something was different. Rule number 3. If you hear tapping on the glass, don't answer it, was crossed out. In its place, fresh ink read, "Do not open the door before 4 a.m. I blinked. That wasn't on there before. Grandma's face paled. The rules change when one's broken. A loud knock echoed through the house. Not at the window, at the front door. 3 slow knocks. We both froze. It was barely past midnight. The clock hadn't even struck 1. "Don't open it," Grandma hissed, backing away toward the kitchen. No matter what it says, no matter what it sounds like. The knocks came again. Then a voice. My voice. "Hey, Grandma, it's me. I left something outside. Can you let me in?" Every muscle in my body locked up. I was standing in the hallway. How could my voice be outside? Grandma grabbed a pouch of salt from a shelf and began pouring a thick line across the doorway. "It's mimicking you." A scratchy sound scraped against the door as though long nails dragged down the wood. "Let me in," my voice crooned. I shook my head, stepping back. Then the voice changed, deeper, hollow. "You broke the rule, boy. Now it's my turn." The air inside dropped, breath turning to mist. The candles sputtered, then went out, all but one by the fireplace. Grandma spun toward me, her eyes wide. "It's in the house." I didn't see it, but I felt it. A heavy, predatory presence moving through the shadows, circling, testing. The boards above groaned. Grandma shoved a small pendant into my palm. "Next rule, Ethan. If the candle flickers 3 times, run. Get to the cellar." I clutched the charm like a lifeline. Why? What's in the cellar? The only place it can't enter. The single candle by the hearth trembled. Once, twice. My heart pounded in my ears. A third flicker, and the light died. From behind me, a soft, wet voice whispered, "Gotcha." Part 3. The cellar's secret. I bolted. The moment that damp voice whispered behind me, my legs moved on their own. The candle extinguished completely, leaving the house in pitch darkness, save for occasional flashes of lightning slicing through the boarded windows. Behind me, something heavy moved, not quite running, but stalking, each step deliberate, as though savoring the chase. I skidded around the corner toward the cellar door. It was old, iron-banded, with a thick latch. I nearly tore it from its hinges. The moment I crossed the threshold, the oppressive weight lifted, like stepping from underwater into open air. The space below reeked of earth, old wood, and something metallic. I slammed the door shut behind me, bolting it with trembling hands. Complete silence. I could hear my own heartbeat pounding in my ears. I clutched the pendant Grandma gave me. It was warm, unnaturally so, like it pulsed in time with my heartbeat. Then a voice spoke from the darkness. "You weren't supposed to break the rule, boy." I spun, raising the rusted shovel. But no one was there. "Who's there?" Silence again. The cellar stretched deeper than I expected, farther than it should. The flicker of lightning from a grate high in the wall illuminated stone shelves lined with ancient, dusty jars. Some contained unidentifiable shapes, others dark fluids that rippled without cause. And then I saw it. An old mirror, its surface clouded with age, leaned against the far wall. But in the reflection, something stood behind me. Tall, lean, with hollow eyes, glowing like smoldering embers. I whipped around. Nothing. My breath fogged in the chill. A scrap of parchment hung beside the mirror. A new set of instructions. Scrawled in hasty, uneven ink. New rule: do not speak to the reflections. I didn't move. I barely breathed. The mirror's surface rippled, as though touched by an unseen hand. My reflection smiled. Not me, not really. Its mouth moved, though mine stayed shut. I can help you escape, Ethan. I squeezed my eyes shut. Just break the mirror. My grip on the shovel tightened. Another rule now scrawled itself on the paper beside the mirror. Fresh ink blooming like blood. New rule: never break the mirror. My pulse thundered. The reflection's smile widened, mouth stretching impossibly wide. I took a step back. Then a dry, papery voice, Grandma's voice, echoed faintly from above. Ethan, don't trust it. Keep your eyes down. Wait till dawn. The cellar floor seemed to pulse beneath me. I backed away from the mirror, refusing to meet its gaze. Every instinct screamed to run, to smash the glass, to scream, but I held firm. The reflection's face twisted into something inhuman. Its skin sloughed away, revealing stretched sinew and hollow sockets. Coward, it hissed. The room shook. Dust fell from the rafters. I forced myself to crouch, eyes on the dirt floor, whispering the old prayer Grandma used. The scratching at the cellar door resumed, soft, persistent. Then another rule scratched itself into the parchment. New rule: don't open the cellar door until the church bell chimes. And that's when I heard it. A distant bell toll, once, twice. But outside, the footsteps had returned. And now there were two of them. Part 4. The bell that never rang. I stayed crouched in that cellar for what felt like hours. The scratching at the door never stopped. Neither did the voice from the mirror. It mimicked people I knew. My mother, my little sister, even my own voice. Whispering promises, threats, begging. But I didn't speak, didn't move, didn't look. I clutched Grandma's pendant so tightly, the chain cut into my palm. Then the bell tolled again. Once, twice, a third time. The rules said to wait for the church bell. But something didn't feel right. A voice in my head, Grandma's voice, whispered, "The bell tower was struck by lightning 30 years ago, boy. It never rang again." My stomach twisted. Whatever was out there, it was lying. I had two options: stay and wait to die, or make a break for it. I took a slow breath and stood. Another parchment hung on the cellar wall now. The ink was still wet. Final rule: the path to freedom lies beneath. I looked down. The dirt floor beneath my feet was different, softer, loose, as though it had been recently disturbed. I hesitated. The mirror's reflection grinned, lips stretched thin over jagged teeth. "Dig, Ethan, or I'll come in." I grabbed the shovel and plunged it into the earth. The soil gave way too easily. Damp, cold, with a metallic scent. After a few minutes of frantic digging, the shovel hit something solid, a wooden hatch. My fingers shook as I cleared the dirt away. The hatch had a single marking on it, a crude symbol, an eye within a jagged circle. I'd seen it before, in Grandma's old books. It meant threshold. I yanked the hatch open. A narrow tunnel stretched into darkness, its walls lined with old brick and bones. Literal bones. Human skulls, femurs, rib cages woven into the mortar. A foul wind blew up from below. Behind me, the scratching grew violent. Claws against wood. A guttural, gurgling voice spat. "You're breaking the rules, boy. No one leaves. I didn't look back. I slipped into the tunnel and pulled the hatch shut. Darkness swallowed me whole. The pendant's faint glow lit a few feet ahead, enough to see the grotesque details of the passage. Hands, faces frozen in the walls. Then, a faint sound ahead, knocking, 3 times. Even down here, I froze. Another parchment hung on a bone jutting from the wall. Rule: never answer the knocking. But it was ahead of me, blocking my only escape. I had no choice but to move forward, praying the knocking wasn't what I feared. As I crept forward, my foot struck something soft, a bundle of cloth. I picked it up. It was a diary, its leather cover cracked with age. Inside the front cover was a name: Evelyn Blackwood, 1932, Grandma's maiden name. I thumbed through the brittle pages by the pendant's glow. It wasn't a diary. It was a record of rules, not just the ones I'd seen, but dozens. Each one crossed out and scrawled at the bottom in frantic ink: there is no escape. Not in this house. Not in these woods. Not after you hear the knocking. The knocking came again. This time, closer. 3 sharp, hollow knocks on the stone wall right beside me. The mortar cracked. A hand pushed through. It wasn't human. Part 5. The final knock. The knocking grew louder, echoing through the narrow tunnel. 3 times. A pause. 3 more. I pressed my back against the cold, bone-lined wall, my heart pounding so hard it drowned out the rest of the world. That hand, it pushed further through the cracked mortar. Gray skin stretched over long, bony fingers, blackened nails like rusted daggers. I scrambled forward, pendant clutched in my fist, the diary jammed under my arm. I didn't look back. Ahead, the tunnel narrowed even more, barely wide enough for me to crawl. But I could see it, a faint, flickering light at the very end, a way out. And then, a voice. Soft, feminine. "Ethan, come back, dear. You left me alone in the dark." It was my grandmother's voice. But I knew better now. The diary's pages had warned of this too. It will wear the face and voice of those you love. It will promise you safety. Don't listen. The tunnel trembled as more knocks rang out, the walls cracking. A terrible scraping sound came from behind me. Something massive, dragging itself through the dirt and bones. I didn't slow down. I reached the end of the tunnel, where a rusted iron gate blocked the exit. Another parchment hung there. Final rule: if you hear knocking at the gate, run. Don't open it. My hands trembled as I grabbed the lock. It wouldn't budge. Then, knock, knock, knock. On the other side of the gate, I backed away, teeth gritted. No, not again. Not this time. I turned and saw it, a shape crawling out of the darkness. Its face was my grandmother's, but wrong. The skin was too pale, stretched too thin. The eyes were bottomless pits. Its mouth too wide, filled with rows of jagged yellow teeth. It smiled. "You broke the rules, Ethan." I raised the pendant, its faint glow flaring up, bathing the creature in a sickly light. It screamed, a high-pitched, inhuman wail. I lunged at the gate, using the shovel to smash the lock. It broke free. I threw the gate open and bolted through. Fresh, cool air hit my face. I collapsed in the clearing beyond, stars overhead, the oppressive darkness of the asylum behind me. But the knocking didn't stop. It echoed from the trees, from the ground. From the sky itself. 3 knocks, a pause, 3 more, and then silence. I looked up and froze. The old church bell, the one said to have been destroyed decades ago, stood tall on a nearby hill, its frame crumbling, but the bell itself intact, and it began to ring. Once, twice, a third time. I opened the diary, one last time. A final line had appeared, written in fresh ink. You left the house, but the rules follow. They always follow. Somewhere in the woods, something moved. A figure with pale skin, sunken eyes, grinning. And it raised its hand. Knock, knock, knock. On screen and voiceover. If you made it this far, you've survived the knocking, for now. Hit that like button, subscribe to Dead Silence Stories, and turn on the bell, because when it rings next time, it might be for you.